So I posted a story about how I am honest with clients when I have like emotional outbursts with their dogs and I make bad training choices. The example that I used is a dog who is incessantly whining in a crate and I have a headache or something and I snap and I scream at them. And in that story, I mentioned damage control. I will, tell the client what happened and then I'll tell them what I did for damage control after the fact. And a couple people commented and said they'd be really interested in hearing more about damage control. The first thing that we need to do is recognize those instances for what they are, which is an emotional response and an inappropriate one. And when I can look at those moments and say, I was trigger stacked, I was reactive, I did not respond appropriately, I can then take any shame or guilt out of that. I can regret what I did. I can know it was not the right thing to do. I could wish I made a different decision in the moment, but I can take the guilt and shame away because those are not productive. And if I can look at that situation for me being reactive inappropriately, not feel guilty about it, then I don't have to justify it. Because a lot of times I think that's the issue that gets us stuck in the cycle of continuing to do those things is we feel guilty about it and then we go, well, they have to learn. Well, I didn't know what else to do. It's okay to admit that dogs are really annoying sometimes. And once we can admit that, and sometimes we cannot handle that, and sometimes we are human and make bad choices, we can then move forward in recognizing in ourselves when we cannot make good choices. Whether that be before or after we actually have our reaction, we have actually screamed at our dog, we have actually kneed them in the chest when they jumped on us, whatever. So if I recognize I have just made or am about to make a poor decision, the first step in my damage control is to make sure the dog is safe and confined. And that safety can be screaming in a crate. Do I recommend leaving a screaming puppy in a crate to cry it out as a training method? No. However, if you cannot handle a situation, what good is it for you to sit there with a dog and continue to get angrier and angrier and make more and more bad choices instead of just sticking them in the crate, letting them scream for a little bit while you go and sit in your car and listen to music for 30 minutes? Put your own oxygen mask on first. Do whatever you need to bring yourself back to baseline. As long as the dog is safe, it's fine. Most dogs are not that delicate that 30 minutes of distress is going to break them. And if they are, something else will break them eventually. It's fine. Come back and problem solve once you're able to do it. And the more you practice this, the quicker you'll be able to recognize it and calm yourself down before you explode.